Hi everyone, welcome to my father's music channel. My name is Elton Nyirenda. This is my father,
Elton Nyirenda.
Alright, so usually on this channel, my father reacts to music, breaking down, but usually it's Kalindula music that he breaks down and, just explain it to us. But we decided to do something different, 2024, spice it up, just change it up a bit. You may see me sometimes on his channel appear a little bit more. What I'll be doing is, sometimes I'll be bringing my dad a song to react to. Most likely a Zambian song. Actually, we want to keep it Zambian songs, modern hits that are out there. And I'll be bringing the song to him to listen to. And then just, give us his input on what he thinks and how he feels about it and break down the musical side of it. Just analyze it for us, help us understand the thinking process behind some of these songs and why they might be so successful.
Yeah.
And why we love them so much.
Yeah.
So don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe to this channel. Let's get into it. So this is your Maps-Somone.
I've got my guitar here. I feel like the first thing that we know to get is the key. I think he's in the key of C. So he puts the key in the C. He puts the song in the key of C. And keys are very, very important in music. You need to pitch your song in a key that you're comfortable, so that your voice doesn't feel strained, especially when you sing those low notes and when you sing those high notes. And what your Maps does is that he pitches the song in a pitch in a key that is very comfortable. And a lot of people don't understand that it's very important to have the correct pitch of the song, because if your pitch is wrong, not only will it strain your voice, but the song will feel like it's not brighter, it's not opened. Most musicians in Zambia don't pay particular attention to keys, so you find that their songs feel like restricted. The song is feeling like it's not brighter, it's not opening up. So he pitches the song in the key of C, and also it's very important to note that some of the philosophers, also music philosophers, will tell you that keys have got a certain characteristics in them. Like the key of C, he sings from the key of C. The key of C is known to be a key of innocence, and also it's a key that has got a spiritual aspect attached to it. And not only that, but it's a key that is that they feel is more happy. It's a happy key. And if you look the song already, you can feel that it's a song that combines some happiness, feeling, emotions, and some sad emotions to it. We'll get to know it as we listen to it more.
Yeah, so just staying on the point for keys, so it's very important. So the key can bring out an emotion that you want from the audience, depending on the type of key you use.
Yes, like I said, philosophically, most music philosophers will tell you that keys have got certain characteristics in them. Mm-hmm. And if you use it and it suits your voice, you find that it may help you to bring out those emotions that you're looking for in a particular piece of music. It's very, very important that you consider the key as well. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So let's just continue with the song and then.
What your Maps does is that he sticks to the chord progression that he introduces the song with. And it's very, very important in music to have a chord progression that the audience can listen to, and it goes on without changing, you know, and this progression that he has.
Okay, just before you go further on, like I said, like I know we're from a musical family.
Yeah.
So we understand certain terms in music, the language.
Yeah, oh,
so
sorry.
When we say chord progression, I know what you're talking about, but other people out there might not understand exactly what chord progression is.
Yeah. That's what I mean by chord progression. Since I've got my guitar here, what I mean by chord progression is that how the sounds are following from each other. Like at first you hear this sound, then the next sound you hear is, then the next sound you hear is, then the next sound is. So basically there are about 4 sounds. This is the first one, the second sound, the third sound, and the fourth sound. So these are the sounds that are going, and the way they are following each other, that's what we call chord progression. Okay. So it starts with. So he's playing that chord progression through and through. And this is a very famous chord progression. It's one of those chord progressions that is usually used most of the time in pop music. But all he does is just does a rearrangement of it. Okay. The most common one is starting from this one and going to this one, and then going to the next one, and then going to that one. So that's the most famous chord progression. So he uses what we call in music as, we've given them numbers. These chord progressions have got numbers. Okay. So for a musician, this we call 6, followed by 5, followed by 4, followed by 1. So that's the chord progression. It's a very famous chord progression that is widely used in pop music. And he gets it and he uses it. And no wonder the song is very popular. Because it's a popular chord progression in pop music.
So basically using something that already works.
Yes, it's already worked. It's something that has been tried, and it works, and he uses it. So, yeah.
Okay, so let's continue.
One distinguishing thing that you hear is this chord when it comes, this is a minor chord, okay? When you just listen to the sound, it brings out some sort of like a melancholic kind of sound, which is sad, okay? Mm-hmm. Then you go to a happy sound then. But because of this chord, it brings out a sad emotion to the listener. When someone is sitting and listening, it brings out that sad emotion, and that sad emotion that the music evokes goes very well with the message in the music, because the message is it's a sad and happy message. It's a combination of sad and happy message. I may talk about the message later on. It's a message that probably we may say a person that has been you're staying with somebody, you don't know whether they'll become somebody in life, and then you get rid of them, and then when they become successful, then you look back and say, I wish I'd stuck with that person. It's like a Cinderella kind of story. Yeah. Rags to riches. Yeah. And a lot of people want to listen to Rags to Riches. Yeah. And also, maybe I can even say in advance to say, look, stories do work. Yeah. People need stories. People love stories. People need to be taught stories that they can relate to. And that's why from Rags to Riches, it's a very famous story. Yeah. Everyone wants to be associated with that kind of a story. So he picks that kind of a story, and it works out. So this chord, really, the minor chord, helps him to bring those sad emotions to the progression. See? Imagine. That is, it works out, really, with the message and matches. Yeah. And allow me to just talk about the structure itself. Okay. What your maps does is that he starts with the pre-chorus. Mm-hmm. He doesn't start from the beginning. And that's a very unique way of starting, because you see, pop music has got a structure. Most pop music, the structure for pop music is, we call it verse, chorus. It could have a verse, back to the verse, or back to the verse, then the chorus, then the bridge. But he starts, of course, there's some music that starts on the chorus and what, but he starts from the pre-chorus. A pre-chorus is some part that heralds the chorus. It's a part that you listen before you listen to the chorus. So he starts with pre-chorus, and that makes you want to listen more, because he doesn't start from the beginning. He starts from somewhere, and it makes you want to sit and listen, because it's like I start a story, not from the beginning, but I start a story somewhere. Listen, it says permanent, permanent. I want somebody who's permanent. So you're saying, who is this permanent? What is he talking about? Who is this person who should be permanent? So the more you want to discover what the story is, you realize that the song is going, and it hooks you, you know? And I think that's a clever way of starting the song, really. Yeah.
Okay, so we can continue.
Let's play it. Okay, I think let's stop there.
Okay.
Let's talk about the chorus.
Okay.
It's a hook. What I mean by a hook is that he's very clever. You know, what he does is that he gets a very singable melody that you can sing along. Most good songs in the world that have made it in the world are songs that are sing along. Songs that a listener can just listen to it once and pick it up and sing together. You know, it's very important that the chorus, the song has a hook. And this is a chorus that you want to listen over and over again. You don't get tired listening to it, because you are singing along to it. And the melody is memorable. It's a melody that you remember, you know, and that's what it does. And that's what sells his music, really. I've listened to some of his music. Yeah. I think his biggest or his aspect to his music, or his biggest asset, if you may put it that way, is coming up with hooks, memorable choruses that people can sing along with, people can dance to. You don't need to think about a lot of things. And one thing that he does that a lot of musicians don't do, he keeps the chord progression the same throughout the song. You see? He keeps that chord progression going on, and it makes the listener get the music easily, because what the mind does is that when the mind is listening to music, it has to pick what is going on in the music. So if you keep changing things and start introducing other things into the music, you confuse the mind. The mind now wants to understand the music and understand what you're talking about. Yeah. But what it does is that he plays the chord progression through and through, and it sticks in you. You forget about the chord progression. You're just enjoying the piece of music, because the chord progression is something that you've listened to it and you get familiar to it, and you know it just now your task is just to listen to the music, and it gets you. You know, so people should avoid introducing a lot of things into the music. Make the music breathe. You know, make the music bare, so that there's room for variation. And he does the repetition. This is what we call in music, repetition and variation. And when he brings in the variation at the chorus, boom, 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 it is that bass of the piano. It is very effective, because it stands out, you know, because people have been listening to the same thing, and then it stands, and he repeats it. Repetition in music is the key. Repetition and repetition. The way they say, the way to move forward in music is to repeat. Okay, that's how music moves forward. Yeah.
All right. So continue.
Yes, let's listen. Okay. I think that's his Ty Green, isn't it?
Yeah,
That's
Ty
the
Green.
featuring Ty Green. Ty Green comes in, and one thing you notice is that the voice between Ty Green and Your Maps is not so different. And when Ty Green comes in, he's like, he now puts the icing onto the music, because when he comes in, he brings a different energy. And like I said, Your Map starts on the pre-chorus because he wants to introduce the energy into the music, and he brings that energy into the music and stays with that energy. By the time he's coming to the chorus, he hasn't sung any verse. So Ty Green now sings the verse. And because of the same energy that was created by Your Maps, he picks it up. And his voice is not so different from Your Maps. So the gap is not so wide. Imagine if another person brings out to sing the verse and his voice is quite different from the first voice you heard. It's like he is bringing another aspect to music. But it's like just complementing what Your Maps started. So he sings the verse. But also one thing that he does, he brings in another pre-chorus that is also very sweet and that is very singable, that everyone can join in and sing along. And that puts, like I said, it puts the icing onto the music. Yeah.
Okay. So you would say it's very important the type of feature you get.
Yeah, it is important because what works out when you duet are very difficult types of styles of music. If you are going to do a duet or you're going to do a collaboration with somebody, you need to make sure that the pitch is right for both of you, and also the voice qualities are quite of similar in terms of it must work out. It must work out. We've got a few examples in the world that duet have worked out, like Lionel Rich and Diana Ross did a collaboration a long time ago before you guys were born. They did a song, "Endless Love." Yeah, it worked out, and it was one of those things one of those songs that I consider to be things that worked out between two a duet. So, and this is what happens in this song. Yeah, no wonder it's a hit, because everything is falling in place. Yeah, and the producer knew what he was doing, really. We must give credit to the producer, because he knew what to bring at a certain... Ty Green comes in and brings a different feel, a freshness to the music, but complementing what Your Map started. Yeah.
Okay. So let's continue.
Yes, let's continue. Okay, now where our artists now, because Your Maps understands that he's been doing the same thing from the beginning. He comes in, same chord progression, same, and everything stays the same. And he now brings in a different thing, which we call a bridge. Now a bridge in music is like you're getting away from the things that people have listened, you're bringing a different idea. Now, this interests the people. And what he does, he doesn't keep the sounds going on. He quietens everything, Everything quietens, and it's just his voice and the guitar playing. And that brings a different aspect to his music. It brings the music moving forward. It makes the music move forward, because you haven't heard this before, but it's a fresh kind of idea that comes in. That's a very clever way of, it works out. He's doing things that work out. He's not inventing anything, but he's putting the things at the right place. The producer knows he's putting things at the right place. We have now this, the bridge coming in. Like I said, it's a different thing. Everything quietens up. And mostly the bridge must lead to the chorus. And that's what probably is going to happen. He will lead to the chorus, because bridges most of the time lead to the chorus, yeah.
Baby, hold on. Mukazi wa muchosa kuti owa mauyo. Yeja benzi nina gola. Manjoni nina manga. Nagazivi nina panga. So jinipa. Nagula nyumba kufoteti. Aleba anga de azungu.
He says something there. He doesn't pick his pre-chorus because he knows that people have listened to that pre-chorus enough. Mm-hmm. He brings Ty Green's pre-chorus because people only listened to that Ty Green chorus once. Yeah. So he brings it so that it can now stay on the minds of people so that now they can just, go crazy with the song.
All right. So what would you say to summarize this song that Your Maps has done?
Yeah, in summary, the things that we can learn out of this as musicians is that, number one, simplicity is the key when you're writing music. Keep it simple. And also when you're organizing your music, when you're arranging your music, make sure that there's consistency and repetition. Of course, you may need some variation here and there, but repetition is the key. You need to keep repeating the music. And also, of course, like I said, the variation that you need to be there. And also, most of the times, stories. People love stories. Tell stories in your music, and people would love to hear those stories. And probably the last thing that we can say is that have a memorable melody. Try to have a memorable melody, especially in the chorus. The sing-along song that everyone can sing along, can join in. Those are the songs that have made it in popular music. So we keep it simple, let the music breathe, don't add a lot of stuff into the music. It's not necessary to put a lot of things. Let the music breathe and give it a breathing space. You've heard Your Maps, the saxophone. Although I'd have loved the saxophone to be given just one part where it shines on something like that in higher, playing those high notes. But I think it fitted the mellow issue of the song, and it was just coming in and complementing. Especially, it came out so convincingly on the bridge. That's where you hear it coming in, and it really comes out because everything is quiet, and the saxophone and the guitar are the ones who take the center stage. But of course, other than that, I think it's a plus, and I'm hoping that this song will go very far for Your Maps.
All right. So there you have it. That's us reacting to Your Maps' hit Somone. And they have musical analysis from my father, breaking it down for us, understanding the thinking behind the song, just trying to understand what it takes to make such a good song. Now, a lot of thought actually goes into production for music. Yeah. It's not just sometimes randomly that a song is successful, a hit. Although, yeah, people do get lucky, but there is a lot of thought that goes behind it, and music planning. You can say that, right?
Yeah, yes, yeah. Of course, you need to know what you're doing in music for you to get the result of what you're looking for. It's like if you aim at nothing, you get nothing. But if you aim at something, you easily get that. But you also, like I say, there's a lot of things that are involved in creating a piece of music. You've got the producer as well. You've got the instrumentalists as well. That thing need to gel. The producers, the instrumentalists, and the singers for you to have a very good product. So I think with that, if you put those things in place, I'm sure if most of the Zambian musicians begin to look into that aspect. But also, let's not forget music critics as well. We need them in the industry because those are the ones that will make us, of course, criticism that builds, not criticism that destroys. We point out where you can improve and how you can do it. I may not be a musician, an accomplished musician, but with the knowledge that I have in terms of music theory and everything analysis, you can really help a musician. And not everyone is a music analyst, because there's a lot that takes to be a music analyst. It's not just listening to music as such, but you get into the intricacies of music and get to know the beats and pieces that make up a piece of music. Yes.
All right, so I think this is where we end our video. Yes. So for now, I'll just say I hope you enjoyed it or learned as much as I've also learned, and just try to get the understanding behind some of the processes that go on behind the scenes in making a song. For me, I would like to say I hope you continue to watch the content that we have on this channel, and I hope we can produce more videos for you like this. I'll say feel free to comment.
And then just let people decide what song we can look at.
They can find suggestions.
It can be any song, but it must be done by Zambians. It can be a gospel song. It can be a secular song, but done by Zambian musician or Zambian artist. Then we can have a look at it and then digest it and bring out the strong points. Of course, the weak points if they might be there.
Yeah, so feel free to send in suggestions our way. I'll probably put in the description the links to our pages that you can find us on. And for that, I'll say, please, like I said before, like, comment, share, subscribe. It will help us, with the algorithm, and, share the video.
Yeah.
It really helps. So for that, I would say, I think that's it.
That's it.
Yeah.